Excuse me. But in any event, we'll get it. Go ahead.
If you don't have a deal by Wednesday when the ceasefire ends, will you extend the ceasefire or will you start attacks again?
Maybe I won't extend it.
Okay.
But the blockade is going to remain. But maybe I won't extend it. So you have a blockade, and unfortunately, we'll have to start dropping bombs again. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. I think it's going to happen.
What about the UFOs, Mr. President?
20%, and we're up. The stock market's higher now than when we started this war. And I thought oil prices would go to $200, $250. It's at $100 now. And I think you're surprised, and I'm surprised. But even if it went to 200, it would have been worth it. I understood that. We had just said...
Health security needs universality. And any vacuum, any space which is not covered actually gives advantage to the virus. And the best immunity we have is solidarity. So because of the event that's happening now, and both Argentina and the US are affected, I think they will reconsider their decisions because they can see how important universality is for health security. Because viruses don't care about our politics, and they don't care about our borders, and they don't care about, all the excuses that we may have. So I hope this could be a good lesson for the whole world, because solidarity is our best immunity. I repeat. Thank you.
Hey guys, caller Cortez here with another episode of Scriptures in Wallstreet. I hope you're doing well. I am excited to be here. Of course, the seasonal allergies is bothering me, but here I am. Promise I will continue to drop content and just really talk about the market on what is really happening. We've gotten a lot of phone calls about personal situations that I want to talk about. Obviously, I can't share any names for client confidentiality purposes. But everything on this podcast is meant for information and education purposes only. I will not be giving financial advice, or anything on this podcast should not be considered investment advice. If you would like some type of advice, give us a call, 813-448-3446. I am a retirement planner, a licensed fiduciary, and more importantly, we want to make sure that your retirement has a plan so that you're confident and secure in your retirement. You shouldn't have to worry about what is going on in the world when it comes to your retirement. You should have a set amount aside for safety and a set amount for limited risk, and get rid of all the unknown risk and the risk that is high standard deviation in your portfolios. As you retire, you need to get safer and more conservative on your investments. And if you don't know anything about that, it might be time for a call to have a conversation. A little bit of education can go a long ways. So reach out to us, 813-448-3446, or visit us at cortezwm.com. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe our Rumble channel on Scriptures in Wallstreet on Rumble, on Apple Podcasts, as well as Spotify and YouTube. And I really would appreciate a like or follow there as well. Well, today I wanted to discuss some actual events that's been happening, some actual calls. Of course, I'm not going to play calls right now, but there is a situation where we had an airline pilot reach out to us, and this person did notify my office saying, hey, there's something going on. They did work for Spirit, and he said something is off, and I could see the writing on the wall. Well, it wasn't even days. It was even days, and we saw Spirit just completely close its doors. Now, what this actually does, it now gains more market share for the other airlines. And Spirit had a good niche. They were low budget, or I would say budget airlines. Frontier will actually be able to pick up more of that business that's going to just naturally fall in their lap, because they have the same ideal client or customer. They just want a budget airline, and pretty much pay for everything, pay for a glass of water, pay for your check-in bags, overweighted bags, or pay for extra legroom. I don't know. I don't really fly Frontier, but I know they pretty much charge for everything you can imagine, nickel and dime you. Anyways, the reason why I bring the whole Spirit thing is, as we unpack that, and it's not just the airline industry, it is the financial industry, it is the medical industry, it is our economy, it is the insurance premiums that you're paying that you can't afford, it is the healthcare costs that we're paying, it is the inflation, it is the taxes, it's the government spending, it is the dollar. Is it weakening? Is it gaining momentum? Long term, it has been weakening. It is not just the airlines. It's your retirement. It's your 401k. You see, these people, these hardworking Americans probably didn't see the writing on the wall. It is every airline. Delta has claimed it that they're lowering their, they're no longer offering snacks, anything over 350 miles or 330 miles. They're reducing flights and occupancy rates, reducing the gas that's going into jets, so they can, basically have reduction in cost of operations, and they're pinching pennies any way they can. Question is, where are you pinching pennies, or where is the pinch and penny approach happening in all the industries that affect your life, whether it's medical, whether it's construction, whether it's financial? You see, these companies are pinching pennies right now because inflation is terrible. The cost of goods, the CPI index has skyrocketed, and the PPI index has never really cooled off. And as we get further into this hyperinflation era, we'll see that there really is no plan to lower the inflation. They're thinking Jerome Powell's and his 12-headed beast is basically saying that inflation has cooled down, that we don't need to lower interest rates. So what are we going to do? Be chilling at, 5.95 interest rates, 6% mortgage? Maybe that's our new home. I don't know. But what I do know is that they're late to the game. What I do know, and you can infer intent by the results given, you can see, and we'll look at the charts, but you can see that Americans cannot afford just living. They have to get 2 jobs, let alone a single mom or a single dad. They're just not able to make ends meet. So they're willing to sacrifice, sometimes even the morals, sometimes doing jobs that they never ever wanted to do, that doesn't match their identity, that doesn't match their values. You see people doing this stuff. And the younger generation, man, we got to really pray for them, because they're looking at things that go against all of our values. This is why OnlyFans has been just millions of dollars. The porn industry, the adult entertainment industry, because it's a quick, easy way out if you're willing to go there. I think Marilyn Monroe said it best. Hollywood will pay you $50,000 for a kiss and 50 cents for your soul. I believe Marilyn Monroe said that. How true is that right now? It's insane, man. And I pray that's none of you. I know you guys are smart, but there is a spiritual side to all this. You guys know there's a huge spiritual side. We should not build our wealth hastily. We should always be on guard, and we should be a steward of our assets. The lazy man way, you guys know I've had this little pile of silver. It was a prop in the beginning, but now it's like, it went up to 120,000, and I actually bought a little more silver. Cornerstone's been great. They come in these cool little packets. You can open them. They're all certified, by the way. And anyways, you open them. And look how shiny and beautiful these 10-ounce bars are. These are the old ones that are shrink wrapped, and they all have like a QR code. But these are awesome too. They're like little stubs. They're heavy, 10-ounce silver bars. You can get them at Cornerstone directly to your door. Now, do we buy silver? Do we hold on to it? It is completely up to you guys. What I will tell you is that you need to be able to sell it and emotionally sell it, because it's just a trade. I don't understand why people have a hard time selling silver. It is just a trade. It's not like you can't get back into it. If you sold it, now, or even 80 or 90, you are locking in profits if you've been buying it since it's been 17. Most of the silver investors I know, they've been saving it for a long time. It is good to lock in some profits. If you had, $200,000 in silver and it grew to 800,000, you didn't sell it 800,000, and now it's back to 400,000. Well, sell half of it. Sell half of it before they start pumping up the dollar again. You see, you made a ton of money because the dollar was going down like crazy. Because it went down, they will pump it back up, and silver has the red money characteristic of it going down. Now, I believe long-term silver is going to be a knockout. I believe it will be over $300-$400 long-term. But many of you that are retired don't have that long-term time horizon. I'm 43. I can wait. I can wait for it to go crashing down. I could wait for it to go, $1,000 an ounce. And I think it will eventually. It is industrial metal. It has a financial capacity to use as currency. What if the government actually turned it like a tier 1 currency like gold? What would happen then? Will you sell then? Or would you have sold it when it was up? You see, we let our emotions, we let our habits completely deteriorate and blind us from what is actually good for us. Until you watch our show, I will show you, mathematically and quantitatively speaking, when is a good time from a tactical standpoint to get in and to get out. And we'll pull up the charts here shortly. But I just wanted to have a conversation that if you're sitting on silver, we've gotten so many calls. When should I sell? When should I sell? First and foremost, just call Cornerstone and ask for Terry. And let him know that I sent you. And have that conversation. When is a good time to sell? Now, they're slammed right now. But we shouldn't have all of our money in red money, guys. Precious metals is red money. Red money is unlimited losses, unlimited gains. You have unknown fees. You don't even know what the risks are. And I understand, I say millions of times ad nauseum, I understand why you buy these things, because the dollar has been going down. But what you failed to realize is the dollar gets pumped up just the same way it gets smacked down. Now, the dollar will continue to go down because they keep on printing money, and printing money, particularly, they've been funding in the banks. And we look at KRE, it's been going up. Even though there's a private credit crisis looming, they're going to try to lower and push that underneath the rug. The same thing with commercial real estate. Commercial real estate, there hasn't been an answer for all those loans. So commercial real estate, printing money, the dollar's weakening. You have BRICS. You have a World War III that's imminent. You have track, trace, and control agenda, a crisis in silver, a crisis in drought and water, a crisis in oil, political warfare all over the place. There is a lot of things happening, guys. And all of this does make sense until it doesn't. But what does make sense is, what are you going to do about it? What is your plan? Because the most of the people I talk to, the first line they say, did you hear about what's happening with XRP? Did you hear about what's happening on March 14th? or what was supposed to happen on April 14th. Did you hear that the BRICS has a new roadmap called the Road Incentive Map? Did you hear about the 10 days of darkness that is coming back? Did you hear about the quantum financial system reset? That they're moving the date again. Did you hear about that new Social Security law that we're supposed to get paid by just being alive? Like, there's just so much junk out there. If you guys would just look at the charts and pray to God for discernment and truth, you will not be involved in all of these rabbit holes that only thing that it does, it creates more fear, uncertainty, and doubt so that you can make mistakes, so that you can continue to sell your silver. Hey, I'm just speculating here, but it takes 20, 30,000 pounds or ounces of silver to make one warhead, is what I hear. The government already knows how they can take your silver. They'll force you to sell it at these ungodly prices, forcing you to give up your silver. Because not a tier 1 currency. They can just say, you know what, it's illegal to own gold. Turn them in, you have 5 years, and if you get caught selling gold, it's a felony. That's all they got to do. Versus silver, they got to be a little bit different. They got to force you out. They got to force you to voluntarily sell your silver. Because many of you didn't sell it when it was at 116. I know. You should have sold 20, 30%. I was screaming at the top of my lungs. Guys, I know this is crazy, but you want to sell 10, 20, even 30%, maybe half, depending how retired or how close to retirement you are. You always want to lock in profits. If you're day trading, one thing that they teach us is when you hit your goal, you close everything out and you go the next day. Don't overtrade. You'll give it back. If you currently have money in the bank, a 401k, or even precious metals in an IRA, you may want to listen up. You're going to want to have a place where you have a guarantee on your funds. As we go into a lower interest rate environment, banks will be stressed out when the commercial real estate crisis happens. Right now, you can get a guarantee, yes, a guarantee on your principal, and get a bonus. If you're younger than 65 years of age, we can utilize an insurance-based contract that has been around for over 100 years. We want to help you find a guarantee on your funds that are actually outside of banking laws, outside of securities laws. And guess what? You get a guarantee on your funds. You get a guarantee on your principal. Go to greenmoneysolutions.com, fill out your information, and let's just see if you qualify. When you have profits, guys, please lock in those gains. It's not that hard. Speaking of gains, maybe you bought SPXS. We're going to look at that too. My question to you, do you think the market's going to crash? Do you think that it's worth putting your whole retirement in a situation that, hey, what if the stock market crashes? You know, Carlos, my broker, my advisor, he charges me 1.75% a year, and I'm not getting the growth. I'm not getting this. I'm not getting that. And my ETF at Vanguard, which I don't like, is doing better than what my broker is giving me. Guys, let me explain that situation. And I'm not sticking up for Vanguard. I'm not sticking up for that broker. I'm just letting you know how this game works. In my opinion, if you don't need an advisor, don't get an advisor. If you feel that you don't need an advisor, I repeat, do not get an advisor. You could simply just buy the QQQ funds, SPX for S&P 500 or VOO for S&P 500. You could hold these ETFs and dollar cost average in them for 20, 30 years. You will be profitable. You will make money. The question is, with your millions that you have accumulated over 20, 30 years, you are the market. You'll never, ever, ever get upset about returns. You'll only get upset about the losses. You see, the S&P 500 goes up about 73, 74% of the time. is when that 25, 26% that it doesn't go up is when you get hurt. And typically, you know how this game rolls. It goes down as soon as you retire, right? What are the chances of that happening? Well, ask the people in 2001, ask the people in 1987, ask the people that were retired in 2008, ask the people that were retired in February of 2020. How did that make them feel? If they could redo it again, they would say, you know, I would rather have green money. I would have yellow money. I would have everything in passive in the stock market, like mutual funds, stocks, bonds, and ETFs. I need somebody to manage it so that when we see the market crisis happening, they're automatically going to the sleeve that has treasuries, precious metals, copper, as well as the bonds, because the bonds typically do extremely well in times of volatility. Automatically automated AI sequence with human day trading experience, watching your money 24/7. That is yellow money. Yellow money has been a huge source, a huge benefactor for many clients that need some type of managed account that are tactical. They go in and out of the market, so you don't have to scandalize. You don't have to be a bootleg analyst, or more importantly, have this like gut. In my gut, I know Cisco is going to do well. In my gut, I know Johnson Johnson is going to tank. In my gut, I understand that FedEx is going to do well. Guys, don't do that. That's bro investing. Hire a professional. Give us a call, 813-448-3446. Visit us at CortezWM.com. Let us help you take advantage of some of the best money managers, I think, in the world by lowering your standard deviation and increasing your alpha, and have the ability to tactically tackle this volatile environment that we are in, to the point where the Fed doesn't even know what they're doing. They can't even tell if they're raising interest rates, waiting for interest rates, waiting for more inflationary data, the buy and hold approach, the wait and see approach. All that brings market turmoil while you have a 401k that's like a sitting duck. And you're utilizing the 401k to pretty much guarantee your retirement. Guys, that's a recipe for disaster. Don't do that, because your 401k is in red money, y'all. Red money, for those of you just tuning in, is unlimited losses, unlimited gains. You have no idea what the fees are. And more importantly, there's so much risk. And in retirement, the major thing you need to worry about is lowering your fees and reducing your risk. You see, that's what I specialize in, is finding money managers, finding investments that literally water down your risk to either very bare minimals to zilch by utilizing a combination of contract law with green money and yellow money, finding money managers that have a low standard deviation of less than 10, that have an alpha that is great, a beta that is respectable, and a performance chart. Obviously, that does not mean that you're going to be profitable every year. But what it does mean is you're going to have a whole team of money managers watching your money with all the fluctuations, all the manipulations of the market. Is better than the ETF model of buying and holding. Maybe you like the Dave Ramsey, buy the index fund and invest the rest, or buy term life insurance and invest the rest. This is the knucklehead advice that this guy gives. Not even talking about the taxation on the growth from your QQQ funds or your SPX funds or whatever index funds you utilize. But your term life insurance is going to run out. And now you're going to have to buy something even more expensive to have some type of tax-free death benefit for your family. It's just terrible advice. Not to mention that if you do pass away, all the funds that are in your IRA and 401ks are all become taxable if it's outside of a spousal continuation. And you have a Secure Act that forces you to distribute all the funds as if you're alive to your loved one. So if you have a daughter or niece, and you don't have a spouse, they got to take all that money out within 10 years and pay it all. So guys, it is very interesting all this stuff when you don't even have to worry about it. All you have to do is give us a call, 813-448-3446. Let us help you out with your retirement, because there's so many things that are happening right now that could wreck your retirement if you're not playing your cards right. So let's get smart. Let's get right. Let's have the ability to reduce our risks, to create a plan where your money is actually growing in times of volatile markets. And more importantly, to have the ability to withdraw your money while your money is growing. We don't need some lifetime income rider with some insurance company. We don't need like this 20-page financial plan of every expense. We want to keep it simple, contractually sound, and proven historically, quantitatively, and mathematically, where you have the ability, in case that you pass away or your loved one pass away, that your beneficiaries have the ability to continue the plan that you set aside for them, whether it's inside of a trust or outside of a trust. It really doesn't matter, because you have set the parameters, you have set the roadmap, and we can do that here. Now, as I look at the current markets, if you currently have money in the bank, a 401k, or even precious metals in an IRA, you may want to listen up. You're going to want to have a place where you have a guarantee on your funds. As we go into a lower interest rate environment, banks will be stressed out when the commercial real estate crisis happens. Right now, you can get a guarantee, yes, a guarantee on your principal, and get a bonus. If you're younger than 65 years of age, we can utilize an insurance-based contract that has been around for over 100 years. We want to help you find a guarantee on your funds that are actually outside of banking laws, outside of securities laws. And guess what? You get a guarantee on your funds. You get a guarantee on your principal. Go to greenmoneysolutions.com, fill out your information, and let's just see if you qualify. So let's look at the charts here real quick, guys. First and foremost, let's go back to what I was talking about with the dollar. And as you see, you'll see the dollar kind of creep back up. But right now we got a death cross notification. See this pink box, meaning it's going to come down just a little more. So your precious metals should come up. So here we are. We have the dollar. Now, the dollar is starting to get pumped up just a tad, nothing crazy. We have a pink box here insinuating a death cross. Now, what this typically does, you see this wave down here and it popped back up. We have a downward trend. Maybe it goes a little lower. We'll see silver pop back up. If this goes to 96, we'll see silver actually start to come back up, and we'll look at silver. I just want you to remember, keep an eye on this dollar chart. This is on a daily. This is a 4-hour here. For those of you listening to audio, I have a purple box insinuating what it basically means is that we are below that 200-day moving average. Price is well below the 200-day moving average. The next box I would get would be a red box. And that whenever I get a red box, I mean, it literally would drop a good 5-10%. So we're at 97.84 on a US dollar. So just kind of keep that in mind, guys, about that dollar. You see how it's coming back down, but there's a little bit of upward on the 4-hour, a little bit of momentum shift on the 4-hour. So we could still have this sideways pattern like it's been since late March. It's just been in this home. And because of that, this is why silver has been suppressed, because the dollar has been suppressed. There's not a lot of movement on that dollar. But like I said, I told y'all silver would start to come back up whenever it hits this like lower level on that momentum index. And it was about to kiss that 71 mark there. And here we are. I wasn't lying. It popped back up to 77. Yep, 77.20. Right now we're at 77.67. I'm thinking we're going to hit 80 soon. There's an average trade range of $3.64. So just in one day, it could go all the way from 77.68 to $80.68, as high as $81.04. So it could bump back up into the 80s here shortly. I think it will, as the dollar staying stagnant, slowly on a downward spiral. As we understand that the Strait of Hormuz, supposedly they're coming out with a peace agreement. What is that going to mean? Well, basically, the dollar will gain some traction and your precious metals will go down again. So it's going to be more volatility, guys. More volatility. Now, for those of you with like lots of silver, I still would advise, I mean, in my opinion, not investment advice here. In my opinion, I think it makes sense to take some profit off the table and guarantee it with some green money. Stay in the race with the precious metals, but not all of it. Take some off the table. Just think that we're at the blackjack table. You started with, I don't know, $1,000 and we're at $8,000. You've 8 times your money. Shouldn't you just take at least $4,000 out, lock in those gains, and play with the house money? That's what we should be doing with silver. Take your principal out and play with the house money. You literally have a free trade. So if you got 200,000, it's now worth 400,000. It is your responsibility to lock in those profits. Take 100 grand out, shove it in your pocket, shove it in green money, get a bonus, don't get a bonus, grow it, guarantee it. Let it be a pot of money in the future that possibly could 4 times in the next 8 to 10 years if you manage it right. There's nothing wrong with that. That 100 grand now becomes 400,000 or 500,000 in 10 years, and you still got your 100,000 plus in silver, which should grow as well. Guys, this is how we beat the system. We continue to lock in profits. When people are greedy, we lock in profits. When people are fearful, we buy for the profits to get locked in. Once you start figuring out that you buy when there's devastation, you buy when people are not buying, and you sell when people are not selling, this is how you know you're going to win in the investment world. You don't pay attention to the bro investors, the JQ movement. You don't pay attention to anyone. You pay attention to the charts and what makes sense. You buy low and sell high. But yet our brains are naturally going to fight that simple stinking rule. That's why I'm here. I daggone told y'all just last podcast, I said, wait for this thing to pop up. And sure as heck, it went up. It's not at 80 yet. I said it should go to 80, but man, look at that fan out. All because I saw this here. I saw the death cross. I saw this price point. I also looked at the momentum index, and I verified it with other trade charts. Templates is the word I was looking for. And we see silver just going up again. So if you're trying to sell out, may wait for a few days to see where we can go. It does have an average trade range of $3.64. Now, for those of you that are like, hey, I think the market is going to crash. Well, let's take a look at SPXS. This has been my baby. Love this ETF. Oh, man, look at this sucker. So the stock market's been going up, as you guys know. Ooh, I liked it at 30. I even like it better at 28. I lost on this one. I actually made a trade on this one, and I locked in the profits, but it actually, the other half I lost. So I was able to get my principal back. It did pop up, and I didn't sell. Yeah, I think I bought it around 30, and it went up to 31 on some options, and I sold out of it. It was just starting to go against me. And that's because the market will continue to rise. But check this puppy out. You see how this momentum index, this momentum bar here, this drop off. when we see that those straight lines, look what happens in the subsequent days. It typically pops right back up. So if this is selling at 28, maybe it has an average trade range of $1.15. It's trading at 28. So we know if it hits 27, 26 and a half, we got to be looking at some buys here. Again, not investment advice. You will lose money in this trade if you don't know how to trade it. This is red money, and this is a risk trade. This is 3 times the negative. It makes money when the S&P 500 goes negative 3 times. So it's leveraged. So be extremely careful with this. You don't put your retirement money in this. This is just for hedging your portfolio. But I like SPXS. The other cool one that I look to monitor is UVIX. UVIX is 2 times the VIXI, which is the volatility index. So when there's fear and chaos, this is going to have an average trade range of 58 cents. So it can go to $5.74, no problem. It can go to $6. However, right now it's trading at a discount at $5.24. There was a little pop. But man, do I love this around the $5 range like crazy, because that will be the all-time low. And this is just going to do well when there's a lot of fear and greed. Stock market goes down, you will make up some money in this account, in my opinion. Not a guarantee, not investment advice. But yeah, for those of you that have, $250,000 in a portfolio and you don't have some type of fund that makes money on the way down, what are you doing? Take 3, 4, 5% and throw it in a bear fund that makes money when the market goes down or sideways. And I think you would be a lot better if you're buying and holding, doing a Dave Ramsey structure. He won't teach this. But the problem is buying ETFs is you will lose money when the market goes down. And the only person that can get you out of it, it's you. But are you emotionally and professionally sound to buy what is going up? Typically, when the stock market goes down, the bonds go up. But do you buy a 2-year? Do you buy a 10-year? Do you buy a multi-platform that fosters all types of bonds, short-term, moderate, long-term, and incorporates junk bonds as well as high credit bonds? Like, there's so many different styles. But the fact of the matter is you have to have something. You just can't be a lazy silver man and say, oh, I'm going to buy these and this is going to be my retirement. Guys, your silver is not your retirement. The silver is just an investment. It's a tool. So be very careful with all that. One simple way to avoid all this racket, and I know I keep on talking about green money and I will share it ad nauseum, but what's very powerful is you don't have to go through all that when we have accounts and ways, green money ways, that we can protect your principal. So let's just say you had 200,000 in silver, it grew to 400,000. We blew out of the 400,000. Now we put a guarantee on it. We're utilizing an insurance contract that protects your principal, utilizing Green Money Solutions. So you can go to greenmoneysolutions.com to find out more information about it. But I layered I went ahead and showed a illustration here. So 400,000, we're 63 years young. These are just basic numbers here in Florida. They are very similar all across the country, except for California and Tennessee. But here we are. 100,000 or 400,000 goes in. In this example, there was 120 shy of 129,000, 128,988 that gets credited to the account based on a QQQ growth index. Our account balance is now $528,988. This calculates over 2 years. So by the time you're 66 years old, you've made another 177,000, bringing your account at 706,227. This is because we sold half of our silver and we put 400 grand into a green money bucket. Guys, just in 10 years, this is showing $1 million off 400 grand. Like, this is amazing. 1,072,000. Now, these aren't fake numbers. These are basic recent historicals on the past 10 years. Should you invest it in something like that, hypothetically? Now, if you have 20 years, you're looking at 2.87. But what's neat about this, friends, is that you don't have to wait 10 years. after this 12th month in this program, and most all the green money accounts, you start plucking 5, even 6% on on $528,000. Call it half of 52, maybe 26,000. So you take $26,000 out a year. Just take 5% out of these accounts. And what you'll notice is your money is still accumulating while you're withdrawing money. So you're never really touching your principal. You have a high probable chance that you'll never touch your principal just taking out 5-6% of these accounts, because they grow with no fees and no risk. And when you have that environment, it just like a supersonic compounding effect in your account. You create this income plan. You create a plan that no one can touch or destroy. It's based on your life. There's no manipulations. You don't have to worry about the SPXS. You don't have to worry about UVIX. You don't have to worry about yellow or red money, because you have green money working in your favor at all times, 24/7. It's better than toilets and tenants. It's better than real estate. It's the best thing ever, because it is literally contractually guaranteed by the strength of the insurance company, not the growth, but the interest that accumulate to always be your principal, and you only are the one that can take things out. If you want something like this, give us a call. We want to help you. We want to navigate your 401k into this, your IRAs, wherever they're at. If you have current accounts, like insurance contracts, we can move this to that and have a better environment for you to succeed in. More importantly, this account has no fees, no management fees, no ongoing fees. The way these insurance companies work is very simple. They give you a participation rate. So let's just say it's 90% participation rate on this index. If the index does 10%, you're going to walk away with 9. Insurance company keeps 10. They're happy with that on billions of dollars. Heck yeah. So you never pay a fee. There's no contract fee. There's no M&E fee, because it's not a security. This is a fixed product. This is an insurance-based product, and you're backed by dollar for dollar in cash reserves with an A-rated carrier. You're supposed to be A-rated. And the rest is history. You're backed by contract law. And that's what you want going to the CBDC-like system to fight this track, trace, control agenda. So if that's you and you want to roll over your 401k into safety, then give us a call. We want to help you. We don't have commission breath here. We don't want to force you or make you feel uncomfortable here. We just simply want to help you protect your principal at all costs. Whether you like us or not, we want to be there for you and extend an olive branch. Guys, I'm out of here. My allergies are killing me. If you have any advice other than Flonase, shoot me an email, info@cortezw1.com. I love y'all. You guys have always been a blessing to me. And let me help you. Let me help you. I want to help you. I want to give you the best advice, straight truth. A lot of times I push people away because I'm too honest. And I don't want you to get hurt. Your investments need to be stewarded and guarded. And you come to the right podcast. You come to the right place to help you with that. That being said, go to CortezW1.com or book an appointment online by scanning the QR code on the bottom left, bottom right. And don't forget to like and subscribe our YouTube channel, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Rumble. And if you would like to lose weight and not eat so much at night, or how I used to do, the food noise, think sharper, sleep well, and have more energy, then get your peptides from getmeleanusa.com. They work. I promise you they work. They're amazing. And you can cancel anytime. They're all made here in America with animal-based peptides as well as plant-based peptides all together, and really, really amazing. My favorite is going to be the lean and the fit and the calm for myself and the kids. It calms you down, and you can knock out and get some great rest. Guys, I'm out of here. I love y'all. Wish me luck. I'm taking my boy to Boca Raton for a hockey tournament. Also, this week was hockey tournaments. Both my boys made AA teams. on their they both made their tryout. So they're the type of kids now where they step on the ice to like you build teams around. You know what I'm saying? So Jacob had like 7 or 8 goals at his tryout on U8. I'm like, are you kidding me? You were so excited at the house. He got ready, he put his helmet on before the ice. I'm like, Jacob, don't have to put your helmet on. He likes wearing his helmet. He wants to feel ready. So I love him. But yeah, he made Tampa Bay Hockey Club. So I'm proud of him. And Nathaniel is now be playing for the Bulldogs for this fall since his 2012 team folded at Ness because they didn't have a lot of skaters, but he's still a student over there. So he's going to be an animal. He's going to be training with some of the best coaches out there in the game here locally. So I'm excited for both my boys. They're a huge blessing. And continue to pray for my girls. Rachel is still growing. We've learned to manage her situation with the neurological development disorder. She is still on the honor roll. She's still doing good. And her emotions are starting to be regulated better. And Natalia is still doing good in school as well. So she'll be joining Rachel soon. Next year, she goes into middle school. So for all the mothers out there, if I don't get a chance to talk with you, I hope your spouse is rubbing your feet and making you breakfast, lunch, and dinner and taking you shopping. Because you mothers are no joke. You mothers run the world. You mothers should be praised and should be honored. All you women, you guys are ungodly amazing how beautiful the woman is in and out, what they do, the sacrifice. It is a thing of beauty that a man cannot even describe. So God bless you to all the women out there, the moms. If you feel like you're not being seen, trust me, you are. Trust me, you are. God is always watching, and I see it. Even when I don't say hello, I see the hard work it takes to do your girl's hair, to do your boy's hair, to make the lunches, to do the sacrifice of putting your social life in the background, to make dinner and the lunches and make sure there's always fresh clothes for them and a clean home. And for those of you that have to work, you do all that plus work. I don't know how you do it. And then you can take a needle on your spine where I can't even take a needle. Also, I don't have any tattoos. I can't take needles. I'm a wussy when it comes to that. But women are some of the strongest beings has ever walked this earth. And it is amazing that God has designed a woman, literally a woman, and you can birth a child. And it's the only pain that you never talk about. You never hear a woman complain about birthing of their kids. And if they do, it's only for a quick second. But they will forever talk about other pains that us men inflict. So men, I want you to honor your wife, honor the mother, your family, honor your mother. I brought you here, wherever you do. If I don't talk to you by this weekend, but the mother should be honored in always. Anyways, guys, I love y'all. God bless, and we will talk soon.